Today we will discuss about the clinical based question regarding the thyroid gland. A patient come to the OPD, outdoor patients have a swelling in neck below the thyroid cartilage and blood report finding abnormal triiodothyronine and thyroxine level. The question is write the name of the most commonly probably enlarged gland in the neck below to the iod one with the above conditions. Write down the surface, borders and relation of the glands and clinical importance of this gland. The first answer A, in above condition, increase the triiodothyronine and thyroxine secretion by the thyroid gland. So it is secreted by the thyroid gland, so it is the enlargement of the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland, it is the endocrine gland situated in front and side of the lower part of the neck opposite to the C5 to T1 vertebra. Anatomical features, the gland consists of two lobes connected by the isthmus. Lateral lobe, one right and one left, each extend from the middle of the thyroid cartilage above to the middle of the thyroid cartilage above and below by the sixth tracheal ring. Each lobe is pyramidal in shape and presents the following features. Apex is directed upwards towards the oblique line of the thyroid cartilage and base extend up to the fifth or sixth tracheal ring. The measurement of the each lobe length, it is nearly each lobe have a length nearly 5 centimeter, breadth it is also 3 centimeter and thickness it is 2 centimeter. Weight approximate the thyroid gland, it is 25 grams. The surfaces and border of the thyroid gland, it is a three surface: anterolateral surface, posterolateral surface and medial surface. It is a two border: anterior border which lies between the anterolateral and medial surface, and the posterior border which lies between the posterolateral surface and the medial surface. The apex relations of the lateral lobe, medially it is related with the apex, it is medially related with the inferior constrictor muscles. Laterally it is related with the sternothyroid. Superiorly there is superficially it is a superior thyroid artery, and deep there is a deep external laryngeal nerves. The base, it is a relations of the lateral lobe base which is related with the loop of the inferior thyroid artery and inferior thyroid veins, and there is a recurrent laryngeal nerves. The apex is directed upwards and laterally towards the oblique line of the thyroid cartilage, and it is sandwiched between the inferior constrictor medially and sternothyroid laterally. Thus the thyroid enlargement, it cannot extend above because it lies in between the inferior constrictor and sternothyroid muscles. The anterolateral surface or superficial surface, it is covered by the strap muscles. This is the, here you can see this is the thyroid gland, this is the blue color, this is the anterolateral surface, and this is the medial surface, and this is the anterolateral surface. So anterolateral surface which is related with this is the anterolateral surface which is the strap muscles. Here you can see it is related with the sternoiod, sternothyroid, and there is a superior veliopomoid, and it is covered by the sternocleidomastoid muscles. Medial surface, it is related, this is the medial surface which is related with the trachea, esophagus, inferior constrictor and cricothyroid muscles, external laryngeal nerve and recurrent laryngeal nerve, cricoid and thyroid cartilage. So the medial surface, it is related with the trachea and esophagus, inferior constrictor and cricothyroid muscles, external laryngeal and recurrent laryngeal nerve. So you have to remember each have two muscles two organs, and two nerves and two cartilage, cricoid and thyroid cartilage. The posterolateral surface, this is a posteriorly and lateral surface. This posterolateral surface, which is related with the carotid sheath, and it contains are the interjugular vein, common carotid artery, and the vagus nerve. Anterior border, it is thin and anterior descending branch of the superior thyroid artery, which is related. Posterior border, which is the anastomosis between the superior and inferior thyroid artery. It is also related parathyroid glands. Lower part, it is related with the thoracic duct on the left sides. Relation of the isthmus, it is the mid part which connecting to the right and left lobe, and it has a two surface, anterior surface and posterior surface. It has a two borders, upper border and lower border. The anterior surface, which is the strap muscles, which is covered by the sternothyroid and sternohyoid, deep cervical fascia, anterior jugular veins, and superficial fascia and skin. The posterior surface of the isthmus, which is related with the second, third, and fourth tracheal ring. So this is the relations. Upper border, which is the lies on the upper side. Here you can see this is the upper border. Anastomosis between the superior thyroid artery. Here you can see these are the both the side anterior division of the superior thyroid artery, which is anastomosis with the opposite side of the anterior branch of the superior thyroid artery, and there is a pyramidal lobe if it is present into the upper parts. Lower border, it is related with the inferior thyroid veins. Which are the clinical aspect of the main clinical aspect of the thyroid gland? You have to remember. Main clinical aspect of the thyroid gland is during the thyroidectomy, surgical removal of the thyroid glands, following care must be taken. Superior thyroid artery is ligated near as possible to the upper pole to avoid injury to the external laryngeal nerve. So the superior thyroid artery, it is along with the external laryngeal nerve, and it is near to the glands. It is goes away each other's, and that's why the superior thyroid artery, which is ligated near to the glands or near to the upper pole. So at the upper pole, the nerve lies in deeper plane, but away from the upper pole, it closely related to the superior thyroid vessels. So you have to remember superior thyroid artery ligated near as possible to the upper pole to avoid injury to the external laryngeal nerve. While the opposite to it, the inferior thyroid artery, which is ligated away from the gland, because the near to the glands, it is along with the recurrent laryngeal nerve. So you have to remember inferior thyroid artery always ligated away from the glands, because near at the lower pole, the inferior thyroid artery and recurrent laryngeal nerve, which is near to each other. To avoid hemorrhage during the thyroidectomy, the gland is removed along with the true capsules. It is a second. We will discuss into the details. The space between the true and false capsule, it is occupied by the following structures: parathyroid glands, along with the posterior border of the lateral lobes and trunk of the blood vessels, but the venous plexus lies deep to the true capsules. Thyroid gland, which is enveloped by the two capsules, namely true and false capsules. True capsule, it is formed by the condensation of the connective tissue of the gland itself, and the false capsule, which is derived from the pretracheal layer of the deep cervical fascia. So the dense capillary plexus, which is located deep to the true capsules, but the main vessels which lies between the true capsules and false capsules. It is difficult to ligate the vessels in capillary plexus, while the large vessels laying between the true and false capsules can easily ligated. Hence, during the thyroidectomy, thyroid gland, which is removed along with the true capsules. You have to remember. So this is the main clinical important. And enlargement of the thyroid gland may be due to the hypothyroidism, or it may be due to the hypothyroidism, or it may be due to the hyperthyroidism. If enlarged gland tend to push backward and pressing the side of the trachea and esophagus, so it lead to, there is a 3 characteristic symptoms: dyspnea, difficulty in breathing due to the pressure on the trachea; dysphagia, difficulty in swallowing due to the pressure on the esophagus; dysphonia, due to the hoarseness of the voice due to the pressure over the recurrent laryngeal nerve which lies into the tracheoesophageal groove; and compressions of the sympathetic chain lead to, there is a Horner syndromes, and it may compress the carotid sheath, lead to the posterior displacement. So this is about to the clinical based question over the thyroid gland. Hope you enjoy the lecture. Thank you very much. If you like, subscribe to my channel.